First order of business is Stefon Diggs, the all-world wide receiver for the Buffalo Bills. Now, in case y'all didn't see me on First Take on ESPN this morning, 10 a.m. to 12 noon Eastern Standard Time, live on ESPN every weekday, where we've been number one for 12 years. In case you didn't see me this morning, I talked about how, and I said it in a very passe way, but I meant it because I know what I was told. I've had sources who tells me that Stefon Diggs doesn't necessarily want to be in Buffalo anymore. I did not say he was going to demand a trade. I did not say, the hell with Buffalo, he's not going to show up to work. I did not say he was going to quit on the team. I did not say any of those things. What I said is, he ain't feeling Buffalo anymore. The reason why you saw him engaging in histrionics and being so demonstrative on the sideline when they were losing in the playoffs to the Cincinnati Bengals in the divisional playoff game was because he was unhappy. The reason why that extended months off the field into the offseason is because his frustration didn't quell and didn't dissipate by any stretch of the imagination. The reason why that he was hesitant to show up to training camp was because he was a bit perturbed. And if it wasn't directly at Josh Allen specifically, it's at the fact that the Buffalo Bills, he feels, may have missed their opportunity. Now, in fairness to him, in fairness to Stefon Diggs, I did not hear this from him directly. I did not speak to him directly, although I know him. I don't know him like that. I've interviewed him a few times over the years. He's been a guest on First Take. Mad love and respect for him. He's an all-world receiver. I've loved him ever since he was in Minnesota when they tried to act like Adam Thielen was the better receiver than him. Somebody up there needed to be drug tested for thinking that, okay? And then obviously he got out of there and he ended up in Buffalo. For the first couple of years, he was ecstatic because he is an all-world receiver and Josh Allen is an all-world quarterback, okay? And the stats obviously prove it. But because they've fallen short after being in an AFC championship game against the Kansas City Chiefs about 3 years ago and a couple of years ago, having a thriller before losing in overtime to Kansas City like 42-36 when him and Josh Allen were going back and forth. Josh Allen threw for 329 yards. Patrick Mahomes threw for 379 yards. Josh Allen threw for like 4 touchdowns and no interceptions. Patrick Mahomes threw for 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Okay. Gabe Davis had about 201 receiving yards. Tyreek Hill put on an absolute show as well. But after losing that game, they haven't been able to get past the divisional playoff round. And so I was personally told by a couple of people very, very close to Stefon Diggs that he ain't really feeling Buffalo ain't going to demand a trade or anything. He just feels like they missed their window of opportunity. That was all I said. In fairness to Stefon Diggs, especially since I haven't spoken to him, you need to see his response because he went to social media and responded to debunk what I said. He said, rocking with my dogs, Bills Mafia through and through. Diggs, 100% not true. Just 11 minutes ago. That was 9 minutes ago. That first tweet I meant. That was 9 minutes ago. This one was before that, 2 minutes prior to that. He says, 100% not true. I don't know who the source is, but I thought I nipped this shit in the bud already. Well, fine. It's his life. Okay? And I guess only he knows in his heart what is true and what is not true. I'm telling you what I heard from people very, very close to him. 2 people specifically. Okay, I'll let him figure out who that is. Quote, he ain't going to demand a trade. He ain't going to force his way out. It's nothing like that, Stephen A. But the reason why he was that way on the sidelines, and the reason why he was that way in the offseason, and the reason why he wasn't vibing necessarily in him and Coach Sean McDermott and Josh Allen had to talk is because Stephen A., he ain't feeling it. He feels like they may have missed their window of opportunity. So he's denying it. I'm telling you what I heard. And don't make me wrong. I'm just telling you what I've been told. And the bottom line is his behavior was indicative of that. Let's call it what it is. Okay? Now that I gave you the news and I gave you the facts, let me just be very, very clear. If you're the Buffalo Bills, and you were knocking on the door to get to a Super Bowl 3 years ago. In the last 2 years, you can't even make it out of the divisional round. Meanwhile, Joe Burrow has taken the NFL by storm because in the Super Bowl 2 years ago, he was in the AFC Championship game last year. Patrick Mahomes lost in the AFC Championship game a couple of years ago, came back, went and won the Super Bowl this past season, beating Jalen Hurts. And Philadelphia in the Super Bowl, beating Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals in order to get to the Super Bowl. Okay? Patrick Mahomes ain't going anywhere. Joe Burrow ain't going anywhere. Lamar Jackson just got Odell Beckham Jr., got Rashard Bateman, got Zay Flowers that they drafted. Okay? You know they Rough Riders up there in Baltimore. He got a new $260 million deal. He ain't going anywhere. Miami with Tua Tagovailoa. I'm sorry. Buffalo got through the skin of their ass by getting past Miami last year. And Tua wasn't even quarterbacking because he had suffered like a third or fourth concussion. Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle ain't going anywhere. Aaron Rodgers just arrived at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey, wearing a New York Jets uniform with Garrett Wilson as a weapon, with Alan Lazard and Randall Cobb as a weapon, with Dalvin Cook added to the squad, and Breece Hall expected to come back along with a top 5 defense, okay? So, and then you got Sean Payton in Denver. You got Trevor Lawrence, fresh off of coming back from a 27-0 deficit after throwing 4 interceptions in the first half of a playoff game against the Los Angeles Chargers before coming back and winning that game. So you got Trevor Lawrence there, okay? I already told you, Justin Herbert, the guy he beat with the Chargers, he's there. Russell Wilson's got Sean Payton in Denver. Jimmy Garoppolo is in Vegas with Josh McDaniel. Patrick Mahomes still got Andy Reid, even if he doesn't have Eric Bieniemy because he left the offensive coordinator to go and do the same job in the nation's capital in Washington, D.C. Everywhere you turn, the AFC is loaded. And Stefon Diggs had clearly felt like we're slipping. We're missing this window of opportunity. That is what was told to me. Again, the number is 888-SAS-5303. That's 888-727-5303. Ain't nobody hiding. I said what I said. He needs to check with the people close to him and find out who told me that, because I'll never tell. Keep in mind, I'm a journalist. Yeah, I know I got a loud mouth and to talk a lot and all that good stuff. That's fine. I can be demonstrative. I can be bombastic. I can also be very, very mellow. Very cool, calm, and collected. This is what I do for a living. I don't make stuff up. Now, either he really, really, really didn't want anyone to know, or he really, really, really changed his mind, or he got to find out who the hell told Stephen A. But they told me. And it is what it is. I understand. I don't mean to make it hard for you, Stefon. I got love for you, my brother. I respect the hell out of you. You're an all-world receiver. I'll never forgive the Minnesota Vikings for trying to act like Adam Thielen was a better player than you. I know better than that. This Stefon Diggs we talking about here, ladies and gentlemen. Last 5 years, 1,021 yards, 1,130 yards, 1,535 yards, and 127 receptions 3 years ago. 2 years ago, 103 receptions, 1,225 yards. Last year, 108 receptions, 1,429 yards. The brother is a stud. I'm not here to cast any aspersions and throw any shade. And if I'm Stefon Diggs, for the record, not to be duplicitous or lacking authenticity or honesty or whatever, but if I was in this position, what the hell I'm gonna admit it. I'm gonna be playing on a team in the uniform. We got a season that's coming up, and I'm gonna stand before the crowd and the microphones and everything else, and I'm gonna admit to the world, nah, I'm not feeling us. I think we missed our window of opportunity before the season even started. Come on now. I didn't make it into a segment on First Take this morning on ESPN because I wasn't trying to blow it up like that. But because he responded, I have an obligation to respond because I'm the one that started it. I apologize for that. I'm just doing my job. That's what I was told. And damn it, it ain't far-fetched. Not just because of what we're seeing from the Buffalo Bills, who no longer have Brian Daboll as an offensive coordinator, okay, because he's coaching the New York Giants as a head coach, but because of what we've seen from the Buffalo Bills over the last 2 years, taking a backseat to the Kansas City Chiefs and now the Cincinnati Bengals. And Baltimore, Miami, the New York Jets, the Jacksonville Jaguars, and arguably either the Chargers or the Broncos or the Raiders are coming. I said what I said. And by the way, let me not rule out Tennessee Titans either. I said what I said. Stefon Diggs, respectfully, I would just ask you to go check with your peeps, bro. Like I said, you'll never find out from me who told me. But you probably have a good idea who did. There's a couple of them, bro. They're pretty damn close to you. Just want to let you know that. Tyler, what's going on, man?
Hey, Steven. Thanks for having me on. I just want to know what you think of the Stefon Diggs situation. kind of where he might be going to and what he might be looking forward to.
I didn't say he was going
without
anywhere.
Josh Allen.
I appreciate the call, man. I didn't say he was going anywhere because he can't. Buffalo's not going to move him. They're trying to compete for a Super Bowl championship. He's an all-world receiver. They ain't letting him go. I said to you he wasn't feeling the situation, but he's still under contract. He knows it. He ain't a free agent, so he's not going anywhere. It's just that he's looking at the squad, and he's had questions as to whether or not their window on a Super Bowl title has closed. That's why he wasn't necessarily feeling the place. He's not going anywhere. He's not going to demand a trade or anything like that. But he wasn't exactly happy, which is what he showed us in the months preceding training camp. That's all I said. And I stand by that based on what I was told and who told it to me. That's all I'm saying.